Hello there, this is TeeBeeDraws, and in this video I'll be animating some fire for you using Photoshop's timeline tool. This is the first part of a video set focusing on 2D effects animation, and I wanted to demonstrate fire animation by spicing up an illustration of the Carbon Dog boss from the Super Nintendo classic, EarthBound. I've got Photoshop CS6 open, and the first thing I did was set up my canvas at 1920 by 1920 pixels, since I'm considering posting on Instagram mainly and want to do a square video. Then I created a temporary background and picked a brush to start on my first rough drawing. After I was comfortable with my roughs, I picked out some colors and drew some clean lines as a coloring guide. I selected a charcoal brush, tweaked the pressure setting and textured look, then began filling this puppy in. This will be obvious to many of you, but to any digital art newbies watching, I work in separate layers so I can make isolated adjustments wherever I need to, and I lock layers to avoid any accidental mistakes, such as drawing on the wrong layer or deleting something. This applies to other non-destructive editing programs too, as working this way can prevent some future headaches. And the biggest thing to remember is to save and save often. Many programs have autosave settings that'll let you make backup files too. If you viewers have any more tips or workflow ideas I'm not mentioning, please share them in the comments. Okay, I got my dog colored, so next I will be setting up some guides for my fire animation. I drew the first frame, made it a little transparent, and drew a yellow outline as a base for the fire. Next, I opened up the timeline panel at the bottom of the screen, which you can also access by going to Window on the taskbar up top, then Timeline. I clicked the Create Video Timeline button, then went to the Menu drop-down button on the top right corner of the Timeline panel. I set my timeline frame rate to 24 frames per second. This will be a simple stylized animation, so I'll be animating 11 drawings on 2s for a 1-second loop. Each drawing will take up 2 frames on the timeline. After grouping my static layers together, I created a video layer by going to the taskbar, Layer, Video Layers, then clicking New Blank Video Layer. The squiggles I drew were to keep track of the fire shape as I animated it moving in S-curves. I turned on the onion skin tool using the timeline drop-down menu so I could keep track of my drawings. For the first 3 drawings, I animated straight ahead, then I created some keys and in between as I went along. You can see I drew little embers floating off, which I'll adjust towards the end when my frame order is set. Since I had to move my frames around as I added more drawings, I did a lot of copying and pasting. To copy each finished drawing, I selected everything in the frame by hitting Command-Shift-A, Control-Shift-A on PC, then I hit Command-C or Control-C, moved to the frame I wanted, then hit Command-V or Control-V. When I needed to clear frames or erase a frame's contents as I filled out the timeline, I would cut by hitting Command-X or Control-X. Hitting delete after selecting all would get rid of the whole video layer, which is not what you want. Alright, checking my progress here, you can see the fire undulating and flaring up quickly. I'll need to make the evolution a little more gradual with the rest of the frames I add. The last step to completing this loop was tying the last 3 drawings to the first one. After the final drawing was finished, I deleted the copy of drawing 1 so the sequence would end on frame 23 and repeat correctly at 1 second. Oh yeah, there it is. Majestic. If I wanted the fire to move more erratically, I could take out some frames, and alternatively, I could add more in-betweens to add some slower variation and make the loop look less obvious. The final thing left is to make a background for this hot dog. For the backdrop, I drew some circles, applied blending modes to them, lowered their opacity to create something like the Sanctuary boss screens in the game. Ta-da! Even though I said it was done, I actually did one more thing with this design that wasn't covered in this video. I made the background move subtly. If you'd like to see how I achieved this wavy effect in Adobe After Effects, check out the companion video I linked to in my description. Thanks for watching! If you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe to my channel for more art videos and process demonstrations. See you soon!